All right, back again. Week 4 in the books. Dom, how we feeling?
I still feel good. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I
tough
feel all
spot.
right. Yeah,
It's
it was a
tough.
tough game,
Tough
tough
watching
week
Joe Elite
overall.
come after you again. There, you're gonna be seeing him in your nightmares.
Yeah, just some PTSD right there. No,
Yep.
it's not a bad week. They were expected to drop one eventually, so that's
Yeah.
a game they lose probably more times than usual.
Yeah, and that
We all
was
know
more so
how.
just that first half that kind of beat him up there.
Yeah, the defense let them down there, but it is
Yeah,
what
it
it
was what?
is.
Yeah,
Just
17-3 going into half there. I mean, it's
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
Um,
just move on to the Cowboys, and that's really it.
yeah. But actually, here's a weird little nugget from that game. Joe Flacco has now won a football game for the team in Baltimore, the team that
Yes.
left for Baltimore, and the team that left Baltimore.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's
So
that's
he's won
wild
a game for the
actually.
Ravens, the Browns, and now the Colts.
And the Colts. Oh, that's
Weird.
wild.
Yeah,
Speaking of
he's.
Baltimore, we know how you're feeling today.
I have huge stones right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
It feels
that's
like it
for
at
sure.
least. Yeah, that was nice.
That was
That
needed.
that got out of hand before anybody even knew what happened, and it was needed. They needed that. Just
Yeah.
a big win like that. Like we were talking last week about Lamar just wanting to bury people, and he sure as hell did. Um, that
Yeah.
was that
And
was
and
fun.
and he let them know after he's still not happy. So
Yeah, no, and
that's pretty
I'm here for
promising.
that. I'm here for his like little villain era. It feels like.
Yeah.
Josh Allen got rocked on that trick play. That was also fun to see. Not because I don't like Josh Allen, just like Baltimore defense being physical. Because did you see that hit?
No,
They ran
no, I did not.
it was a really bad time for a trick play, and Kyle Van Noy, it was the one he fumbled on because Van Noy kind of dove, stripped him, and then Travis Jones kind of came out of nowhere and
Oh
just
wow.
leveled him on the sideline. So that was fun. He took a few big shots in that game. That defense was flying around. They were angry. They were real physical. Um, Derrick Henry is insane right now.
Yeah, out of his mind.
I'm still pumping the brakes on that a little bit. I'm like, yes, obviously Derrick Henry is insane. I'm still nervous to fully buy into him just being that for 17 games.
Yeah.
Um, that many carries, that many yards on those legs, like it's going to come to an end at some point, and he's on the wrong side of 30. So I am nervous about that. I'm hoping Mitchell comes back sooner rather than later. That would also be nice. But again, like he could just be an outlier there. Adrian Peterson had a 1,400 yard season when he was what, like 33 or something like that with the Saints or with Washington. I don't know. It was one of the two. I think it was he had a one late that didn't
Yeah.
really make any sense. So maybe that's going to be Derrick Henry, and I would love that. I'm just also not going to put all my eggs into that basket. But for week, like a game here and there, I am all for giving him 25 carries and trying to get him to 200 yards because that was awesome. That first
Yeah. I
that
mean,
first
I
one
mean
was.
that first run right out the gate was just
That's not a touchdown
nuts.
for 99% of the league.
Yeah. And
Like
I thought he was gonna get caught, and he just never got caught.
no,
It's
that
crazy.
it blows my mind how fast he is. What was the Statcast thing? He was point 0.1 miles slower than Xavier Worthy
Wow,
on that.
that's crazy.
Like, yeah, Xavier Worthy's touchdown. I forget what the numbers were, but it was like point 0.1 or point 0.2 miles per hour slower. And Xavier Worthy as the fastest combine, and
Insane.
Derrick Henry is two of Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, that's why you
He's like
shouldn't put too much stock.
235 pounds, 240
Yeah,
pounds. It's
that's why you shouldn't
insane.
put stock into the combine. That's just
True, but
crazy.
also just when it comes to speed, like that's insane. Yeah, he was at like 22 miles an hour. He's a fucking dump truck.
Yeah,
That's
he's
insane.
like 250, man. He's cooking. Good for him.
Yeah, it's wild. Once his legs get going,
If
he just
I'm
doesn't slow
if
down.
when I'm 250, it's more like I'm sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. If I'm
Yeah,
250, I'm dead. I'll just throw that one out there
fair,
real quick.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
Um, I am on dialysis at that point. Hoping for the best.
Rooting for the
Um,
best.
on a flip side here, let's have some fun in the demise of another team here. Jets lost.
Yeah,
Jets
lost
lost, and then
bad.
they got noisy.
It
Lost
was
bad.
bad.
Lost ugly. A lot of penalties.
Yeah, it's not good.
Looked sloppy. Rodgers was I don't know. I guess like mostly what Aaron Rodgers is anymore, and what he has been for the last like season and change now that he's played in.
Yeah,
24-42 for 225 yards. That's kind of just like where he's at, and that's why the two of us were like, "Yeah, we're not buying this
hmm
because that's about what you're gonna get." Um, did Brees Hall even do anything?
No, he got shut down basically all game.
Yeah, 10 carries for 4 yards. His longest run was 3 yards. It's a big day. Um, yeah, I mean, props to Bo Nix for giving them a big 60 yards and a touchdown.
I was gonna say.
Hey, not all of them are pretty.
No, that game specifically was ugly. It was a very
Yeah,
ugly
it was. And
game
it
on
was
both
like,
sides of the ball.
some people were complaining about the rain, and it's like, it wasn't raining that hard. It was like misting. So it was doing
Yeah,
the same thing here in Philly for 4 days. It was just like damp outside.
yeah,
Just felt like somebody was just kind of spitting on you a little bit,
yeah.
no matter what you
Well,
did. But
the funny part about Bo Nix's passing was that he had 12 completions for 60
mm,
yards. Cortland Sutton had 3 receptions for 60 yards.
yes,
Did you see what
yes,
his
he
halftime
had.
stat
Well, that
was?
what was it? He had. Hold on, hold on.
Like
Yeah, what was
negative
it?
10. It was like negative 10 yards or
Hold on,
something
I
in
got
the
to look at
half.
their team stats because I think I heard somebody say this. Like, I think it was what was it? Cortland Sutton had 60 receiving yards and team passing yards. Oh no, it did get to 60. Yeah, it was, and he completed 2 3 yard passes to other people.
Yeah. And
Like,
then he had 4 -6 yards. Four completions for -6.
yep, wild,
Just
absolutely
insane. Yeah.
wild. Yeah, there's some weird ones like that. But the Jets and Rodgers and Saleh getting at it again. Gotta love it.
Yeah. It was always gonna
uh,
be something
it's
there.
so much drama. It's just so ridiculous to me. It's just they just feel like a cartoon.
Yeah.
With the Saleh stuff, it's like he'll say something. They keep sending him out to the mics. He says something. Rodgers doesn't like it. Not so subtly and not so passive aggressively. Calls him out on it, and then Saleh has to come back out and with his tail between his legs and take back everything he said. Like this last one with the cadence, like, maybe we shouldn't run that cadence. And then Roger says, I don't know, coach them. And then Salah's like, oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
What are we doing? They're just it's comical. So
You
yeah,
have
I
to
mean they're
appease, you gotta
right.
appease the god. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to pander to him at this point. And it's ridiculous. Um but I don't know, again, they're at best a 9-win team for me. I think I had them at like 8 wins before the year. I think the Tua stuff gets them a win just because they'll get an extra one against Miami, more than likely,
Yeah.
probably.
Well,
But
when do they play Miami? That's the better question. Because
I
from
think
what,
late.
yeah, because what from I'm gathering with how McDaniel and Miami's handling the situation, they do just expect Tua to play again. That
Yeah,
when that happens, I don't know, but I feel as though they would have pursued an actual option at the quarterback position at this
that's
point
true.
if they had other information or other knowledge. Because they, other than their quarterback,
Yeah,
their
because
team is very
Tyreek Hill was getting
competitive.
heated.
Yeah. So, like, if you're a competitive team with a competitive roster, you're going to want to try to be as good as you can and not run
Yeah.
Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley out there every week.
Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley. Hey, it's a great week for AFC North backups.
It really is, man. They're doing something. Mason Rudolph popped out there.
Mason Rudolph started slinging the rock. Flacco's out there.
Huntley got
Snoop's
it.
got a
It's just crazy.
job. It's fun. Deshaun Watson still plays football. Um,
That's not good. That's bad news for us
well,
all.
I'm saying we're talking about AFC North backups.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'm just saying, he's got a job still. Um, Vikings are apparently, allegedly, trying to cosplay as the best team in football right now.
I don't think they're cosplaying anymore. Um,
I
I think
I have
at
no
this
idea what to
moment
do with any of that.
that they're the best coach team in the league right now on both
Far and
sides of the
away.
ball.
Hmm.
Um, it's they let their defense get out of hand in the second half a little bit, but other than that, they just
Again,
do
I mean,
enough
when you're
every
up, what
week.
was it, 27-3 or 28-7 at
It was
halftime,
28-7 at half, and it was barely 28-7 at half.
and
Jordan Love scored with 15 seconds left, so
and all of the damage he did was in the fourth quarter.
yeah, yeah,
Like he threw what, three turnover or had three interceptions in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Um, and then yeah, one, two, or at least two of them. Two in the first quarter. I'm sorry, two in the first quarter. Yeah, I mean, like it. Yeah, that didn't that like fake comeback at the end didn't mean as much to me because Vikings were just completely controlling that game at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just can't get over that coaching job. And it's not even so much the Darnold stuff at this point. It's what Flores is doing with that defense. Because
It's
again,
impressive. Yeah.
everybody was like, "Yeah, it's a garbage defense." And last year they were bottom third. I mean, they've been
Yeah.
like a bottom third defense for like 2 or 3 years now, and they haven't changed much. Or I mean, they didn't draft anybody in the first round because they used their 2 picks to come up to get JJ.
No,
So it's not
no,
like they're
no,
they're
they did.
working
They
with
did. No, they took,
not in the first round.
yes, they did. They had two first round picks.
Yeah, and they used them to trade up,
No, they only moved up
didn't they?
one
Are
spot. No,
you sure about that?
I am 1,000,000% sure about that. Do you know
You're the
who you're
draft
talking
guy.
to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair. I'll double check that.
I'm
'Cause I
telling you
don't
right
trust
now
you.
who they took. Okay, you do that. Fact check me. I
I'm
know what I'm
working on
talking
it.
about.
It's loading. JJ at 10.
Traded
Yeah,
up
and
to.
I told you they took Dallas Turner at 17.
Yeah, yeah, you told me. You told me exactly that.
All right,
I
but
was
even
about to tell
still,
you what. Yeah.
regardless, it's not
Yeah.
like they had a complete overhaul, and I don't remember them signing anybody of note. And they lost Daniil
No.
Hunter.
Yeah.
So, like,
They lost their best defensive player.
yeah, and
So
it's
I,
unreal what
I
they're doing right
I
now.
definitely did not expect an improvement on the team. I expected
Like, I
them
thought
to take a
the
step
offense
back.
was gonna be fine, at least respectable, no matter what.
Yeah.
But they were just like, everybody kind of had in their head probably like, well, at least I said you thought they were going to be the worst team in football,
I did. I have that on paper,
and
and I'm eating my
it's
words every
on
single
video.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
But yeah, I
I
mean, like
hate
I
it.
said that I think they could have been the best fourth place team just because Kevin O'Connell in that offense. But this is insane what Flores is doing.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's all I had there. Jaguars are dead. Trevor Lawrence is broken. And that's all
Yeah.
I want to talk about that game. Was that
That's it.
again,
You know.
they were leading that game. And I don't think like I had that on in the background with Red Zone. I saw the score and I went, well, they're losing this game.
Yeah,
I had
because
zero faith in them to win that game.
why would you?
Doug Peterson sucks. Yeah, I mean
Fair enough.
that's a mess right now. That might end up being the worst team in football this year, to be honest with you. I feel like hell, I
Um,
mean the Titans can roll out Mason Rudolph at this point, and that defense actually has a little bit of life to it. There is no pulse in Jacksonville.
yeah, they don't even have to roll out Mason, so they can roll out the corpse of Will Levis, and it'll still be a better game.
I just hope they keep putting Will Levis out there.
They already
I need
said
the Twitter
that
content.
they already committed to him. I mean, it's not like Mason blew the doors off, 9 of
No, but
17 for 85 yards.
I just need them
But
to stay committed. That's all I'm saying. Is like let's
yeah,
not get to like week 15 and they go, well, let's pull the plug, see what Mason's got. No,
it doesn't even make
I
sense. Yeah.
need 17 games of Will Levis doing something stupid at this point.
I mean, that's the only reason you're going to get the full scope of his capabilities.
I just want to see how insane it gets.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
every week we have a gem.
yeah, I hope him and A-Rich are both good to go for Sunday, so we get that matchup.
Oh my God, it's going to be electric. It's going to be the worst
It's
quarterback
gonna.
game of the year by
Oh
far.
no, I'm sorry. That's next week. So
Ah, damn.
they should both be good to go. Will Levis gets the bye, and
Hmm.
A-Rich probably could have went back in on Sunday.
I mean,
Um,
he took a pretty big shot, didn't he?
yeah, but he
And
was still
then
geared
proceeded
up.
to
He
run
he was
again, didn't? Yeah, he took a big shot,
th-
went down, and
that
then
was
ran
the
again.
difference was that was the play call. It was a design run for him.
Or yeah, that's what it was. Which is,
Yeah. Well, I don't know
what
why
are you doing?
that's his poor coaching at that point, which
I don't
is
know. I feel like
strange.
Steichen might just be
Yeah.
sick of watching it at this point and guessing. So he's probably just like, I don't know, give me a reason to sit the guy.
Yeah,
And then
I don't
immediately
think
wins
so,
a
but
game with Joe Flacco. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like, some of the things that are happening right now in this league is
yeah.
insane.
And it's not like Flacco even like had an insane game. Just had an average game. At
16
least
for
Pittman has
26, 168 and 2 touchdowns.
yeah,
Literally just like, fuck it. I'm
average.
just throwing darts. Yeah.
Well, he just like peppered Pittman with the ball.
Yeah. Hold on. I do want to see this stats thing real quick that I just mentioned to you before we started here and see like how
I mean, I
it's not
see
going to
how
come
it's
up.
possible.
I know. I just need to see it.
Well,
Anthony
on
Richardson.
Sunday,
Anthony Richardson is dead last in completion
Ted
percentage.
Lass out of
Dead
every
last in completion
QB.
percentage.
Oh my god.
But I just need to see where. I don't know if it's not giving me on ESPN at least 8.5 yards
Is that
per
first?
attempt. I don't know. Hold on. Let me go to Pro Football Reference because I just need to know. I just need to know if this is real.
Hold on. I got
Oh hell, leaders. There we go. Yeah. So he's dead last in completion percentage and yards per pass completed. He's averaging 16.8 yards per completion.
That's insane. That's absolutely nuts.
That's so insane. But is averaging 50%. Like his completion percentage is 50%.
So you're telling me half the time when he drops
Half
back,
the
it's a
time.
first down. That's
It's
not
not
that bad.
only just the first
It's not
time,
that
it's
bad.
almost a big play every single time he completes the pass.
If you're telling me that's what you're giving me, that's not that bad. It's not
It's
that bad.
ridiculous. Like we said this too. Like he's the most volatile player in the league. It's
Oh, by
insane.
far. And
Oh God! It's
I'm so here
literally
for it.
the second he plants his back foot, you are closing your eyes and crossing your fingers
Yeah.
where this ball's gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's just hysterical to me.
Yeah. But you know who is a good quarterback?
Yes,
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is legit.
He's
I mean,
a good
it's all
quarterback.
coming together. This is what I thought he was going to be coming out of college. We said
I
this, I
mean,
think, last week too. But like, I'm here for it.
He's not the reason they lost on Sunday.
Mm-mm.
300 yards, a touchdown, averaging 9.2 yards per pass attempt. It wasn't him. He did everything he could. He willed that team back in it in the second half. He led the team in rushing.
He had a
I
hell of
couldn't
a
have
day.
asked for anything else. O-line just got more banged up. So take it for what it is and hope that they beat them Cowboys on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll support that just for the sake of it.
That's fair.
Because why not?
Nobody likes
right?
Nobody likes
Exactly. No. I'm happy when they. I just want them to not be relevant this year. I'm kind of over it. There's nothing intriguing about that team.
They're always going to be somewhat relevant, unfortunately.
Did you see, actually, speaking of the Cowboys, did you see the clip of Micah Parsons talking to Darius Slay on his podcast? Where they were both making fun of CJ Gardner-Johnson about talking a bunch of shit before the game and then giving up 4 touchdowns. Or getting just cooked again. Like, yeah. And, I saw somebody, I think it was that one dude on Twitter that does a lot of Eagles stuff, was like, laughing with your division rival about a teammate getting just cooked for the first month of the year is absolutely insane. What the hell is going on with this team? I mean, between that and
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni just being the most South Philly Italian man I've ever seen and
He's definitely
attempting to
something, man.
be a figurehead, like it's the faces he makes make
Yeah.
it is very entertaining to me when he's just so confused about what's happening and basically just Jalen Hurts turning the ball over again.
Yeah, that was a rough game for them.
Yeah, that was
Um,
really ugly.
I don't know what to make out of the rest of their season.
I don't know. Jalen's just
They
got to
need
be.
to get
He's got to get better. It's like
yeah
it's starting to look more like the Super Bowl run year was definitely a one-off. Like we're getting
yeah.
that's becoming more and more of a thing. Um,
I mean,
I
I hope for the sake of that team, in the city of Philadelphia, or else
was
it
gonna
might
say I'm
burn
hoping
down
for
to
the
the
sake of
ground.
my safety.
Yeah, I hope that they get healthy and at least compete the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
because
I think they have a bye this week.
do they have an early buy?
They do. So this is their bye week. Hopefully
Hmm.
that allows Slimmy and
No,
AJ
you're right.
Brown to be healthy and back, and offense is back to full speed
Yeah,
ahead. And
just
they get the Browns and the Giants back to back out of the bye. Those are back to back make right games right there.
yeah, and get Saquon going because what do you have? 3 carries in the first half on Sunday.
I think he had 4 carries the entire game or something.
It was
Wasn't
something
even
stupid
fun.
like that. It's
Oh
like,
no, he
dude,
had
he's your best
10.
player. He's the favorite offensive player of the year. Like, what are you?
So
What? What is
yeah,
the thought process behind that?
he had a carry. I read this. The first play of the second half went for 59 yards, and they ran the ball with him one more play the rest of the game.
Yeah, yeah. He finished 10 carries for 84 yards.
Yeah, 2 catches for 32 yards.
Like,
The
get the
man
guy
just
involved. You have
he
nothing going
gives you
on
a
the
first
perimeter right
down.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I
So weird. But there's your Nick Sirianni offense. Speaking of them and needing to get right to win that division, because the Commanders are coming
oh no,
as of
they're
right now.
here. They're here. There's no coming. That they're done.
Other than you right now,
Hey
talking
man,
about them.
I'll take my victory lap. Jaden Daniels, he's by far the rookie of the year. I don't think it's even going to be close at this point. If he
Yeah,
just
right now.
continues to do what he does, it's pretty apparent. Um,
The one thing with them that I did hear somebody point out was Cliff Kingsbury does this a little bit. His offenses usually
mhm.
pop early, and then around like week 8 or so, everybody kind of figures it out, and it kind of falls off. I mean, he did that with the Cardinals a couple
Yeah,
years ago
that's
when
fair.
they started
I
out
mean,
10-1 and then finished what 2-4 down the stretch or 1-5 down the stretch or something like that, and just kind
yeah,
of fell apart and got rolled in the playoffs.
I think we'll see what kind of goes on here. They definitely feel like a run heavy team right now. I mean, they had 4 rushing
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns. They ran for 216 against the Cardinals, which isn't a crazy
Cardinals
feat.
defense.
Is bad up front, very bad.
Yeah,
So
I
not
I
too
would just
insane,
be
but
mildly concerned about that, and I'm still worried about Daniels and the way he runs.
yeah, I mean nothing so far. I mean he threw almost a
I mean,
perfect
again,
game on
nothing so
Sunday.
far good for him. I hope it stays that way. I'm rooting for it. I want to be very clear. I am
Yeah,
very much rooting for that.
yeah.
It just also concerns me how willing he is to take shots, and
I
that's
think it
gonna get him
helps.
at some point.
Yeah, I think it helps that he's a little bit bigger than Lamar was when Lamar came out.
Is he?
He's
He's pretty
muscle
slim.
wise.
Yeah, but
He's
he's
210.
is he?
Yeah, I think Lamar was
What
a
are you
little
looking at?
bit
Yeah, 210. I
smaller.
think maybe. I think you might be right.
Even
Might
then,
be
Lamar
right.
was just like he just looked small. That's
He
all.
did. He was a lot slimmer. Or he. I mean, well, I mean, he looked like Jaden Daniels actually to an extent because like, but Jaden Daniels is also just like an inch or two taller.
Yeah, that's
There's
also
that.
fair.
Because I think because he's I forgot he's as tall as he is. He is 6'4", and I
Yeah.
think Lamar was 6'2". I want to say 6'2". Yeah, so he
Okay.
actually does. He weighs 5 pounds more. So Lamar right now, and Lamar has slimmed down this year, 6'2", 205, and Jaden Daniels is 6'4", 210.
So Lamar's probably 6'2", 200 if you really want to play
If he
that
was
game.
coming coming out of
But his
college and
playing
stuff, he was a little bit
his
lighter,
point.
but
If you want to
what
talk
I'm
about
saying is
college, he's
like, I
probably
mean,
like
Lamar was up to
195.
215 or something like that last year. He was like
Yeah,
215. He bulked up, and I think he was down like 10, 15 pounds this year again.
yeah,
Which again, I said I was nervous about, but again, too, like that's just like the style of running is like Lamar does a really good job of knowing when to get down, when to start going down, getting out of bounds. He doesn't take unnecessary hits, and
yeah.
Jaden consistently does, and he's taken some pretty big shots already. Like watching that Monday night game, he got popped a few times. So I like that's just my only concern with him right now is the longevity, the sustainability thing, kind of right now. Because I mean,
Yeah.
they did this once before with RG3, and RG3 got his knee blown up and was never the same
Well,
because
let
he wasn't
let's
wasn't
yeah.
doing it right.
I mean, it seems like by all accounts, Daniels is doing good so far. He's not
Oh yeah,
taking big hits to an extent. Like it's almost impossible for a quarterback not to take a hit if your name's not Patrick Mahomes. But
that's true. I keep
if
forgetting
you're
about
Patrick
that.
Mahomes, you actually do the hitting. So
Yeah, you take out your own guys,
yeah,
which I guess we can just roll right into. That was one hell of a segue there.
you're
Um,
welcome.
yeah, that was well done. Chiefs are still weird, but they keep winning
I
games,
I just
and
don't
that's kind of
understand, man.
it's. They just are going to keep winning games. However, I'm very curious what this is going to look like for a little bit here.
Yeah,
Um,
who do they got this week? They have the Saints, so it's like maybe they'll just keep
yeah,
doing what they do because the Saints after those 2 weeks haven't done much.
no, and yeah, Saints have kind of come back down to earth and looked more like not quite what I thought they were going to be because I had them as my worst team in the league, but they are, gave 2 games away really more than anything, and
Yeah,
Derek Carr has kind of come back down to earth and not been a top
out of this,
6
yeah,
quarterback. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
um,
So I mean,
but yeah, I mean, right now, what do they have
let's
on
see.
on offense? It's Xavier Worthy, like receiver wise, it's Mecole Hardman, Xavier Worthy, Juju,
Justin Watson
Justin Watson, and then it's Kareem Hunt and Carson Steele and Samaje P. Ryan in
and
the
Travis
backfield,
Kelce.
and Travis Kelsey, who's saving it. Obvious, I
Yeah,
think at this point, I'm not gonna say he's washed because
yeah. I mean, he had a good game on Sunday.
yeah, because in the divisional round at some point, like he's just gonna go off for like we said, like 13 for 140 and be like, yeah, you thought I was washed, and you know,
Just keep
there's
doing that.
that.
Yeah.
But he's just not going to do it for 17 games.
No, no, he's not.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I just overall think like Mahomes is playing weird football right now, and I don't know if
Mhm.
that's good or bad for the rest of the league. If he's playing weird football and they're 4-0, what happens when he starts playing good football?
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like it just doesn't make any sense.
Or is he just gonna play like this for the rest of the year? And
I
this
mean,
is
he
what
kind of
Mahomes
did
is
it
right
last
now.
year. That's kind of what happened last year, and
Yeah,
like
I
everybody
mean,
was
but
they had their worst record with him. First of all, their worst record with him was 11-6. Go fuck yourself, Kansas City. Um, and then they just kind of ran through the playoffs.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what kind of goes on for the next couple of weeks here. Chances are
Yeah,
they probably bring another wide receiver in, but the last time they did that, it was Kadarius Toney, and we all know how that worked out.
I just think there's a few better options this time around.
Oh, yeah,
Amari
there's
Cooper is more than likely going to be available.
yeah. I mean, you're
I
looking
mean, I don't
Amari,
think there's
D
a
Hop.
chance in the world. D Hop. I don't think there's a chance in the world that they get Devontae. I don't think the Raiders would do that within division like that.
Doesn't really make
Um,
sense.
who is
And
the
then
other one
Christian
that's probably going
Kirk's
to be?
name,
Oh, that could be a good one. That's not who I
he's been floated
even
around a
thought
bit.
of.
I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense, but I feel like there
Yeah.
was another name. Oh, Cooper Cup. If like the
Oh yeah.
Rams like just
I
kind
mean,
of fall apart here.
you can just continue to toss Burks out there.
Who?
Traylon.
Oh, Who cares?
I think he needs a different team, but
I think he
we'll see.
needs to learn how to run routes.
Put him in Kansas City. He doesn't need
Yeah,
to run
that's
around.
true. He just needs to. Yeah, that's fair.
Just send him on a go. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's
I
bigger
mean,
than half the guys out there.
that's true. I mean, he's like 3 times the size of Worthy.
Yeah, 6'2",
Xavier Worthy
225.
is what,
Big boy.
160 pounds?
What?
Worthy is what, like 160, 165, something like that?
Yeah,
It's
160,
insane.
165. Wet.
Yeah. Oh, what? I thought you said what?
No,
All right,
wet.
fair enough. Yeah, I was like, yeah, pretty much. It's wild.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then what was the last one here? Apparently the Lions are back, and Ben Johnson knows how.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Yeah.
And Jared Goff
Okay.
had more receiving touchdowns than he had incompletions. If you didn't know that,
He also has more receiving touchdowns than, half the good wide receivers in the
I
NFL.
know. Yeah.
I saw the stats. It's kind of insane.
I know. Yeah. What was the names that were put up there? It was like Travis Kelce, Tyreek. Was Tyreek Hill on that? Or does he
Tyreek
have
has
one?
one, so no. Waddle
Okay.
was on there. Kelsey, Laporta,
Waddle,
Mark
that's what I was thinking of.
Andrews. Yeah, so all
Yeah.
the big name tight ends, Waddle, and then there's a couple other receivers that were on there, and it's just it's mind-boggling.
This was the version of the Lions I thought we were going to get all year.
Ayuk is on there.
Oh, true. Yeah. However, I don't really feel. I don't feel any worse about the Seahawks this week, to be honest with you.
No, you were going into a tough situation there.
Yeah, and like I thought they would hold up a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just because of what that defense made Jared Goff look like last year. But holy hell. I just pulled up Geno Smith, 38 of 56 for 395, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And Kenneth Walker
chuck that
had
ball.
12 carries, 80 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Oh my god. You want to talk about nasty? Did you see that David Montgomery run where he shoved somebody into the ground?
I think I did see that one. Well, did you see the one with Kenneth Walker where he gets tackled twice and doesn't hit the ground?
Yeah, also that. Just 2 nasty runs.
Yeah, that was a good game for backs. Just in terms of like kind of just dudes with a few screws loose.
Yeah, just crazy.
Across the board.
And Dan Campbell beats them all.
I know. What a guy. I freaking love him. Did you see him after the game? Somebody asked him about the
game ball.
Yeah.
He was like, he went 19 of 19. Oh, I feel bad.
I feel bad because I just gave the game ball to somebody else.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Shit.
All right, what else do you want to talk about here before we get into some other stuff?
In terms of the games, I don't think I have anything else in terms of games that meant anything to me, really.
That's fair.
I think that's about where we're at. All right, let's do our top 10s.
Top 10s? Gotcha.
All right. So, going into this one here, we had a fair amount of movement. So, in my number 10 spot, we'll just get right into it here. Number 10, I got the Niners. I am wildly impressed with Brock Purdy. He's looked really good.
Finally. Wow.
I've come around on it. He's looked really good. I thought he would go full pumpkin mode, just having Brandon Ayuk, but he's looked really good, and I can't really knock him for it. Do I think he's a top 8 quarterback? Probably not. I'd have to think about that. I think 8's about where I draw the line on him.
Okay.
But
so potential top 10.
Potential like fringe top 10 in that 8 to 13 range where we've talked about before. Like there's a bunch of guys that are just different. Yeah, different versions, different. Yeah. They're all the same thing.
I got
They just all look different, and you can argue on who you like more and who you don't. But they're all just different versions of Kirk Cousins. I just happen to like the Brock Purdy version of Kirk Cousins more now after the past couple of weeks. So even without McCaffrey, potentially however long that's going to be, I kind of like where they're at. Do need them to finish with 11 or less wins. That would be very nice for me for future bets. But Yeah, I mean, they're a playoff team. I feel good about them. They're one of the better teams in the NFC. That's kind of about where I land on
Yeah,
them. And still a great defense. Fred Warner is a monster. The pick
yeah.
he
That
had,
that
the pick six
interception
was
he had
wild.
was nice.
Yeah.
Was crazy.
Yeah, you get a nice little
Um,
boost there, too. I don't know if you saw that at the end where somebody tried to push him out of bounds and just actually pushed him into the end zone on the return on that.
yeah, yeah. I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
and he just
that
went
was
right
that
through.
was nice. But, good for him. All right, who's your 10 spot?
My 10, I have the Buccaneers. They looked good again, and I mean, just kind of looking who they've played so far this year and what they've done. You lost to the Broncos, which is bad, very bad. But the
Well, I
Broncos
mean,
did
they
just
just beat
beat
the
the
Jets now
Jets.
too. I
So
mean,
how bad was it?
hey, listen, I'm in the camp of like the Broncos aren't. I
Yeah,
took their over. I think they're a 6-win team, 6-7-win team. I think that's definitely on the board for
yeah.
them. I mean, they're not going to
So
finish last in their division, probably.
yeah, but on top of that, the Buccaneers also beat the Commanders, who I have higher on this list and
Hmm.
look insane.
And they
So
beat the
take that for
Lions.
what it's worth. Yeah, and they beat the Lions, so who
Yeah.
are much higher on this list. So you take one okay loss with three good wins.
Hmm.
I'll take that. And their offense, I'd almost argue looks better this year than it did last year.
Yeah,
That's
it's weird.
without that's without Dave Canales.
The
So
Big Show is rocking right now. I'm happy for him. Again,
yeah,
I'm happy for the Big Show.
that's good. Who's at your nine?
9 spot, I got the Seahawks.
Whoa, me too.
Oh, look at that.
Look,
I think that's like a fair spot for them. I dropped them a
yeah,
couple spots from where they were last week, but they're still a top 10 team.
yeah, they
Yes,
still look good. Defense is
I
still
mean,
good.
perfect storm. You go to um, Detroit after a loss, or was it? No, after just a weird game. They played the Cardinals last week, right?
Uh,
I don't know. Regardless, you go into Detroit there, just kind of where that situation was, and Detroit hadn't played a good game yet, really.
yeah,
And it was the perfect storm. I mean, Jared Goff was literally perfect. They were messing around, and he caught a touchdown. Like, I'm not gonna feel too much different about the Seahawks with that. I still think their defense is great. I still
yeah.
think Geno Smith
Geno Smith,
is productive.
he's looking very good this year.
Yeah, like since he's
Uh,
been there in the last like year and a half, he's averaging like
yeah,
what was it, 265 or something like that, 265 yards a
yeah,
game. Like,
much
dude can
much
play.
better than I anticipated him looking on this season. So I'll take it for what it's worth. Seahawks are leading that division. They got
Hmm.
to play the Niners eventually, so we'll see how that goes. But right
Yeah,
now, they look like the better team, all in all. Up at 8, I have the Commanders.
that's exactly what I have at 8.
Look at
Look at
that.
this. Look at this.
We're pretty
Great
good
minds
this week.
coming together.
Let's see how we finish out here. But that offense that the Commanders are running is unbelievable right now. They are
Yeah.
full steam ahead every single week. And Jaden Daniels, just like I said earlier, offensive rookie of the year by far. And it's not close right now.
Yeah, I keep
He
waiting
is
for it to
doing,
kind of
yeah,
fall off a little bit, and it's just
he's
not.
doing things that I haven't seen a rookie do in a long time at the quarterback position. And I say that knowing C.J. Stroud played last year.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he had a lot of
C.J.
starts in
Stroud,
college. I always forget how old he
yeah,
is. Like, do you know
he's only
who he
20.
played with in his first college game?
Ayuk, he played
Yeah.
Ayuk with, yeah.
And Ayuk just got
It's
his
crazy.
second contract.
Yeah. So take it for what it's worth, but team as a whole
Hmm.
look very cohesive, even though they don't really have a lot of offensive weapons, and the defense is surprising a lot of people right now. So
Yeah, I
it's just a
mean,
well-coached team. Dan Quinn knows what he's doing. He took a
mhm.
team to a Super Bowl. He should have won the Super Bowl, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
That's fair. I mean, that's Kyle Shanahan. That's Kyle Shanahan in a big game, calling plays on offense. That's,
Yeah.
I think, the better story there. But yeah, no, I'm with you on the Commanders. I'm waiting for this to end, and it's not. I have my reservations on some of that, but nothing strong enough that I'm really that concerned about. Honestly, like they look
Yeah.
good. They look like they're having fun. It looks like a group. Like I remember talking like the preview thing here. Um, I felt like this was just a really good situation for Daniels, like and
Yeah.
with everything being new, and you're kind of seeing it all play out right now, where it's all this team's running on vibes right now, and it's the
They're
best
vibes and I
ones.
love it.
Yeah, like it's great.
The Cliff got the game ball, and it was so electric. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy for them. They're a fun story right now, and they play the
Definitely.
Ravens here in a couple weeks, and I'm really excited about that.
Oh,
Like
that'll
that's
be
just going to be a fun
a
game.
nice little in-state
Which
game.
also,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this. NBC wanted to flex that game because I think they get. I forget what the Sunday night game is. I think it's week 6. Let me
Hmm.
look. Is it week 6? Yeah, it's week 6. The Sunday night game is Bengals Giants.
Oh,
NBC
that's gonna be a snooze.
wanted to flex the Commanders Ravens to Sunday night, and CBS is kind of fighting them on it. Like they're protecting the game.
We shouldn't let that game
So
go.
we're already we already have networks arguing about televising games, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the 7th spot here. I have this one might be the one where we fall off here.
All right, let's see it.
I got the Falcons.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have the Falcons in my top 10.
I have them in my top 10 at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
I
Go
think
ahead.
it's all kind of coming together for them at this
Okay.
point. 2-2, but I think they're better than that 2-2 record. Uh, week 1, Kirk Cousins had no shot. Just and
Yeah.
not only was he not going to look good week 1, they were also playing the Steelers and that defense. And then you get a tough game against the Chiefs, and they played them tough.
They did. They did.
I
I thought
think
they were
like
going to take
that
that game.
defense looks real. And Kirk is going to make plays here and there. He's going to do enough, and I like where that team is at outside of having to watch Kyle Pitts attempt to. He's not running routes. He's just running in lines right now. He's not doing anything. He's just moving. The
He's
video
just-
Warren Sharp tweeted like the 3 or 4 routes he ran that he was targeted on. No moves.
Yeah.
Literally just like out and then just like turning.
I'm pretty sure he's just a body on the field at this point. They
It
got
really looks like it.
guys out there.
That was rough. But outside
So
of that,
so
I like
we
that
stop?
team a lot.
Can we stop blaming Arthur Smith at this point? Because it doesn't feel
I
like
won't
it's
blame
his
him for
fault.
Kyle Pitts. I'll blame him for Drake London and Bijan though.
It's what are they doing? Did you look at their stats? Because it's about the same.
Didn't I apologize to Artie Smith last week?
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's it.
Didn't
That's
I
it.
apologize to him for what he's doing with Justin Fields right now?
All right. Well, speaking of
I'm putting
Artie
some-
Smith, Steelers
making me feel
Steelers
better
are at my
about-
Steelers are at my 7. I had to drop in a little bit for that loss. Defense let us down a bit. If the defense would have played as well as the offense did, they'd be a lot higher on this list for me this week. But man, it is fun to watch an electric offense again.
Mhm.
Because the way they came out in that second half, they should have won that game. Justin Fields went over 300 yards. Steelers hadn't done that for 4 years almost until Mason did it by accident last year. So it's just astonishing to me
By accident.
what the offense looks like when there's somebody competent at the helm.
Mhm.
If you get another receiver in this group and maybe a running back that fits the system better that Arthur's running, because Najee's not bad, he just doesn't fit the system anymore.
No. That system needs somebody that knows how to find a hole
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not somebody that's just trying to drag 9 people with him on every run.
Yeah, I know.
I
who
feel
want,
like
but
Najee, I think at this point is like seeking out stiff arms. He
he'll
looks like
give
he's
them,
trying to win angry runs every single week.
and he hates it. But yeah, as long as the defense actually comes together, I think they're just going to continue to be a good team. And
That's
they're
fair.
just well coached at the end of the day. So I don't expect much fall off from them. I feel like they'll be pretty consistent throughout the year. They'll probably be a playoff team. Probably won't win a playoff game just to keep their consistency alive of being over 500 and not doing anything with it and destroying my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I got them out. I don't have them in my top 10.
Wow.
This is more of a. I thought Fields looked great. I felt better about him last week at undefeated. I feel like I was kind of giving him a nod there too, just because that
Interesting.
defense is legit. I don't know. There's just something there. And this might be just projecting with the back half of that schedule,
Yeah,
where
and I'm not
I think
projecting.
it's
I'm
gonna.
I'm I'm going face value.
That's
If I'm
entirely
if
fair.
I'm projecting, I might as well put the Chiefs at one every week and not do this top 10.
All right. Well, you don't got to take the fun out of it.
I'm
Like,
just saying.
god damn. All right.
All
Anyway,
right.
number 6. Who's your 6?
I have the Ravens at 6. Yeah, I'm not going to push the Ravens up to 4 just because they won a fun game, Asher.
Yeah. Well, I didn't put him at 4.
Okay, you put them at 3.
I put him at 3. We're back, baby.
You're the
We are
worst.
back.
So I put the Ravens at 6. Asher put them at 3.
Yeah.
Clearly he's a little biased, but offense is looking better. Offensive line is coming
It's starting to come
together
together.
somewhat. It's coming together
Yeah.
somewhat. We'll see how it continues. Their defense stepped up big time
Mm.
on Sunday. To stop that Bills team is huge, and we'll see how they keep pounding. Their schedule is still a little bit rocky here, so I'm curious to see what they do. If they move to 3-2, it's definitely a big plus for them after the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. My biggest thing with it is watching that game. That version of the Ravens, who's beating that? Honestly, and that's like a legitimate question. Is like
Yeah,
if that offensive line is creating enough of a hole for
yeah,
all of the run
yeah.
game, and the defense is flying around like that, putting whoever they're playing, whoever quarterback they're playing, in hell. Who's beating that team? And I will say, I know that we're not getting that team every week, but that version,
Okay. I'm glad you
I
realized
think
that.
is, I understand that. That's why I'm giving them a little bit more of a bump on that, is
Yeah.
because that, like, the capability of them being able to do that is, I don't think there's another team in this league like that right now.
I mean, yeah, there's no other team that can go from blowing leads quite like the Ravens to blowing out the Bills. So that's fun.
Unnecessary. I was nice to you about the Steelers. Just wildly unnecessary. Like okay,
I'm
fine.
just,
They're not in my top 10. I'll take that shot. Whatever. Anyway, at 6,
so
I have the
go ahead.
Texans at 6. This
Fine.
is again. This is a little bit of
Yeah,
projection, a little bit too. Here is like they're going to be fine.
yeah. I have the
Um,
Texans at 5, so I'm right there with
yeah, like they still haven't looked great, but until something kind of major happens, I
you. Yeah,
don't feel comfortable dropping them any lower.
yeah. Until they lose like a really bad game, like really bad. I don't
If they would have
fucking
lost
know.
31-7 to
The Jags.
the Jags, yeah, if that would have happened.
That's a shell
Yeah,
shock kind of a game, and I'm like,
right.
okay, now we got to look at this, but they didn't. They made sure to close it out at the end there, and good teams close out games. That's it. And
Yeah,
I'll say that about another team on this list that I don't want to talk.
yeah.
Who's at your 4, Asher?
Wait, no, we didn't do my 5.
Oh, you
5,
didn't
I
do your 5. I'm
have,
so sorry.
yeah, because we got to figure out where you have them on your list. At 5, I have the Bills.
I have the Bills at 3.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna drop them after losing to a good team. Like that's just a
Only reason I'm dropping them a little bit is that this is the first good team they've played, and they kind of just got their ears boxed in.
yeah. I mean, I think they were bound to.
It was bound to happen. It's a perfect storm. Again,
Yeah.
this is kind of like the Lions.
No.
Lions Seahawks game. It was a little bit of a perfect storm. Ravens were more desperate. The
Bills have
Bills
been
were
playing
kind of
way too
due.
perfect. They're playing
I,
way too perfect for it to
I want to
continue.
be clear. I don't really feel any worse about them.
No, not at all.
I'm just justifying their placement on this. Like, I think it's, you know, you got the Chiefs at number 1 in the AFC, and then it's like Bills Ravens right there. And then you can throw in that next little group of like Texans and potentially even the Steelers in that. Like, it's like they're in that second tier there with the Ravens right now in the AFC at least.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, so then you have the Lions at 4.
The Lions at 4? No.
Oh,
I got the
who do you have
Vikings
at
at 4.
Oh, you're really gonna hate my
I
top.
swear to God. Do you have the Vikings at 1?
You're really gonna hate my top then.
Do you have the
So
Vikings at 1?
I have the Lions at 4.
Where do you have the? Okay, hold on. No, we need to address this one here. I'm gonna rattle off the last of mine here. I got the Vikings at 4, Ravens at 3, Lions at 2, Chiefs at 1. Where do you have the Vikings? Are
So
they your number one
I,
team right now?
I'm basing this list off of what I've seen through 4 weeks. That's how this is. Vikings have been the best team in the league by far. I cannot put the Chiefs above the Vikings with how they've looked. Is that a fair assessment?
No.
Why? Why?
No, I don't.
We
Okay, it's
cannot
not even
talk
just the
highly.
Chiefs. Yeah, but like, let's just think about it. And I am a Sam Darnold guy,
I'm
and
just
even I'm
merely
like,
saying.
there's no way that I can put them because if okay, we're looking at this right now, and I go, okay, who do I think is coming out of? Who do I think the best teams are in each conference? Who do I have the most faith in to come out of each conference? The Vikings are
Yeah,
not on that list. Not
but
not
I'm
they're
not.
not the first team on that
And
list
again,
out of the NFC.
I'm doing my rankings different than you. We've settled that already.
Wrong
You
answer.
you're
This is
projecting.
this is a subjective list, and you
Yeah,
still
it's
got it wrong.
subjective.
And you still got it wrong.
I don't think so. They have by far looked and been the best team in the league right now. By far, it's not close.
Don't make me hate Sam Darnold now.
I'm not even hyping up Sam Darnold here. I'm just saying
Yeah, but that's
the
part of it.
Vikings as
Now
a whole.
I feel like I have to actively root against them. Just so
Just
you
because
come back
I
down to earth here a little bit.
well, I had to put somebody else at 1 because if the Chiefs would have come out and blown away the Chargers, then they'd be at 1 handedly.
Yeah, but at the same
They
time,
didn't
like,
do that.
as much as I hate it, they kind of earned the honorary number one spot until
The honorary
somebody
number.
takes it. Like, I mean,
I
you
don't
know,
think they ever deserved it. And at this moment in the season, the way they've looked all year, I don't think they're the best team. That's as simple as that. So I'm not going to put them at the best team just because they're the Chiefs.
yeah, then put the
That's just.
Lions at 1 or put the Bills at 1.
But I don't think the Lions are the best team. I don't. The Bills, my love, but I had to knock them a little bit. So I'm going to keep propping up
I'm just
who I believe
upset.
looks the best. I can see that. It took the wind out of you.
It really did. Yeah,
I did tell you at the start of this, you're going to hate my top.
I know. And then you said it 3 more times as I was questioning.
So
It's like I just walked in on you cheating on me. This is kind of where I'm at right now. It's just the shock, the disbelief,
so
the
it's
questioning of
obviously
both of our
it's a
morals at this point.
it's a fluid list. I didn't want to do it, but it felt right in the moment. It sounds like I'm cheating on you,
It does.
but it
I didn't
is
want to,
truly.
but it felt too good.
But
Oh
one,
man.
it's truly just my current belief is that until they prove me otherwise, I can't prop them up.
All
That's
right.
it. If the
Fair
Chiefs would have
enough.
lost this week, do you put them at 1? No. You'll put
That's a
the
little bit
Lions
different
at
of a
1.
story.
Is it?
Uh,
Is it though?
Probably the Lions at 1.
Or are you gonna push the narrative to
But
get the Ravens up to 1?
I mean, that would have been entirely in the realm of possibilities. No, I probably wouldn't have done that. I know better than that.
No.
But
I'm just
I
merely
don't know.
stating.
Yeah, I mean, with the Lions too, because like, okay, but think about it though. If the Chiefs do lose that game, it's like, well, even at that point, I guess I don't know. Like, no Rasheed Rice. I guess you could make that
Okay,
argument on the flip side of it
then you're
too.
just making
But
excuses.
well, but what I'm saying is, I was just about to say, it's just like, okay, if they lose that game to the Chargers, that's the Chargers with
No.
70% of Justin Herbert and no Derwin James, and you can go down through the list of things there that like would have
Yeah.
that you can say to make that loss even worse. But then, just in terms of fairness, like you could make the same argument on the flip side with the Chiefs. They're just
Yeah. I
giving
mean, I get both
giving
sides.
excuses why. Yeah,
Yeah, I get both sides of the quarter. I'm just merely like pushing this agenda because like the Vikings, it's not like they've had a cakewalk of a schedule. They played the Niners, they played the Texans, they just
it
played
is
the
wildly
Packers.
impressive.
They play
Yeah.
the Jets next week. Then after their bye, they play the Lions, they play the Rams. So it's not like it's like easy for them. It's difficult.
Yeah, I
Their
mean,
actual schedule takes a break after that. They go
if
Colts, Jags, Titans, Bears,
if they get to
and it
6-0, 7-0, then I'll
you'll
probably
join me.
I,
You'll join
I I
me
might I
finally.
might join you then. I just still feel like the first month of the year is always so damn fluky, just as is anyway anymore. With nobody plays in the
Yeah, and
preseason, it takes a minute.
I'm
Like I mean, like we just said with the Ravens, it's like yeah, their
yeah,
O line looked like shit week 1. It
yeah,
wasn't very good in week 2, and now week 3. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere here, and week 4, boom, like there. It's like it's
yeah.
looking like a Ravens line now again.
I mean, I'm gonna buy into it right now just because they haven't given me any reason to not buy into it. Um,
That's fair. That's a better argument, I think, when you look at it and say, hey, beat the Niners,
if
beat the
they were
Texans.
ever like down in any of those games or looked like they didn't deserve to win it, sure.
Mhm.
But they dominated offensively and defensively in 3 of those games.
Yeah,
So at that realm, I can't not give them their flowers
that's fair.
because the Chiefs haven't done that in any of their games.
That's true. And then the Chiefs just win games. It's
They,
like
they
they
just
are
win
very
games.
different right now, where it's like the Vikings are just kind of beating the doors off of people, and the Chiefs are just like
Yeah,
it's like they're playing bored. It's like they're trying to give themselves a reason to care about games.
and it's not working. I mean, it's working
Oh,
to
I
an
mean, it's
extent,
working. They're
but
4-0. I mean, it
yeah,
isn't not working. It's
it's
just costing them
miracles. It's
players right now. That's the only thing
and
that
it's
sucks.
costing me a stress level.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah. All right.
yeah, I
Was
mean,
there was
we yeah.
yeah, I
Only
mean
team we didn't really talk about there was the Lions, but we kind of talked about them earlier in the show and
yeah,
just how
yeah, I think we're both kind of on the same page there, and
yeah
they're looking again. First month it took them 3 weeks, but now they look like they're gonna get rolling here and be
yeah.
what we thought they were gonna be.
All right. Well, after that rant, I got one thing for us before we head out of here.
Uh huh.
I have a trade offer in
Oh
our one
yeah.
dynasty league. Um, this is from our good friend Poppy. He sent it to
Do
me
I
this morning. I am
do I have
I'm
time to
0 and
rebuttal?
4. You can do whatever you want.
All right. Well,
You can send me trades while I'm talking. I'm 0 and 4.
this
This
is
is
an
a trade
Andrew
on the
Luck, right?
Andrew Luck. Yep. Uh, he I am sending Cortland Sutton and Greg Dulcich. 2 guys I'm not really worried about. He's sending me back Noah Fant and Christian Watson. What do you think?
It's tough. I don't know what to make of any of the Packers receivers right now.
Neither do I. Christian Watson also did just go down with a high ankle sprain. Could go back on
There's that too.
IR. But when he's healthy, his talent's there, and he gets peppered with the ball.
That's true. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to rebuttal that deal.
What Poppy's deal?
Yeah.
Send me something else.
Yeah. I'm working on it here. Hold on. Give me 1
Oh,
second.
you're good. Christian Watson's 25, and Sutton is 28.
Just send it.
All right, I got it. Let's take a peek here. Wow, that's a great a great deal. Really,
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
always
even
my
gonna mention
favorite
that.
thing. It's always my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's your
Making you
favorite thing.
think I'm going to send you a real trade. Just so
No,
everybody's clear, Dom rejected a trade where he would send me Jamar Chase, and I would send him Chris Rodriguez.
it's a great deal.
Yeah,
Great
right?
deal.
I don't know. I think it's fair for both sides.
Obviously accepted it.
I do think I have 2 firsts burning a hole in my pocket in that league. I do.
Hey man,
I have,
if you want
because
to
I have
talk,
all of Carson's picks. I have all of Carson's picks for like the next 2
okay.
years.
Well, why don't we talk some after the show? Because that might be a minute to work out. Yeah,
All right. Well, if that's all we got here, I got nothing
that's
else.
kind of where we're at.
We'll be back with the
Yeah,
gambling and fantasy
yeah.
show and a little bit of a
We'll
week 5 preview. So
yeah,
we
I'm
got
sure
bye
we'll
weeks
yeah
now.
yeah we'll yell at each other some more on Thursday, guys. It'll
Mm-hmm.
be a good time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, let's get out of here.